master? What cheer?
Good. Speak to the mariners. Fall to, Yarley, or we run ourselves aground. Besteer, besteer!
Hey, my hearts, cheerily, cheerily, my hearts. Yar, yar, take in the topsail, tend to the master's whistle. Blow till thy burst thy wind of ruin up!
Good, Boston. Have care. Where's the master? Play them in.
I pray now, keep below.
Where's the master, Boston?
Do you not hear him? You mar our labor. Keep your cabins, you do assist the storm.
Nay, good be patient.
When the sea is, hence, what cares these wars for the name of king? To cabin, silence, trouble us not.
Good, yet remember whom thou hast on board.
None that I love more than myself, you are a counselor. If you can command these elements to silence and work the peace of the present, we will not hand the rope more. Use your authority. If you cannot, give thanks you have lived so long, and make yourself ready in the mischance of the hour, if it so hath. Cheerily, good hearts. Out of our way, I say.
I have great comfort from this fellow. Methinks he hath no drowning mark upon him. His complexion is perfect gallows. Stand fast, good fate, 'tis hanging, make the rope of his destiny our cable, for our own doth little advantage. If ye be not born to be hanged, then our case is miserable.
Down with the topmast. Yar, lower, lower. Bring her to try with main course.
Ah!
A plague upon this howling. They are louder than the weather aura office. Yet again, what do you hear? Shall we give o'er and drown? Have you a mind to sing?
The pox of your throat, you bawling, blasphemous, incharitable dog!
Work you, then.
Hang her, hang you, whoreson, insolent noisemaker. We are less afraid to be drowned than thou art.
I'll warrant him for drowning, though the ship were no stronger than nutshell, and as leaky as an unstained wench.
Lay her hold, hold. Set her 2 courses off to sea again. Lay her off.
All lost! A leak has sprung in thy vessel! To prayers, all lost!
What, must their mouths be cold?
The king and prince at prayers. Let's assist them, for our case is as theirs.
I'm out of patience. We are merely cheated of our lives by drunkards. This wide-shut rascal would might lie drowning, the washing of 10 tides.
Feel these seams yet, though every drop of water swear against it, and gape at wouldst to glut him.
Oh no! Let's take leave of him.
Wait, what? Mercy on us. Mercy on us. We split. Farewell, my wife and children. Farewell, brothers. We split.
Let's all sink with the king. Let's take leave of him.
Now would I give 1,000 furlongs of sea for an acre of barren ground. Long heath, brown furze, anything. The wills above be done, but I'd fain die dry death.
If by art thou, my dearest father, you have put the wild waters in this roar, allay them. The sky seems to have poured on stinking pitch, but that the sea, mountaining to thy welkin street, dashed the fires out. Oh, I have suffered with those I saw suffer. A brave vessel who had no doubt some noble creature in her, dashed all to pieces. Oh, the cry did knock against my very heart. Poor souls, they perished. Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the seas within the earth or air, should the good ship would have swallowed, and the frauding souls within her.
Be collected. No more amazement. Tell your piteous heart there's no harm done.
Oh, woe the day.
No harm. I have done nothing but in care of thee, my dear one, of thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing of whence I am, nor that I am better than Prospero, master of a whole poor cell, and thy no greater father.
More to know, to never meddle with my thoughts.
'Tis time. I shall inform thee further. Lend thy hand and pluck my magic garment from me. So, lay there my art. Which thou hearst cry, which thou saw'st sink. Sit down, for thou must no farther.
You have often begun to tell me what I am, but then stopped and let me a bootless inquisition, concluding, stay not yet.
The hour is now come. The very minute bids thee ope thine ear. Canst thou remember a time we came unto this cell? I don't think thou canst, for thou wast not out. 3 years old.
Certainly, sir, I can.
By what? By any other house of person, of anything to image, tell me how half kept with thy remembrance.
'Tis far off, and rather like a dream than my assurance that my remembrance warrants. Had I not 4 or 5 women once that tended me?
Thou hast, more Miranda. But how does this live in thy mind? What seest else in the dark backward in abysm of time? If thou rememberest aught ere thou camest here, how thou camest here thou mayst.
But that I do not.
12 years since, Miranda, 12 years since, thy father was the Duke of Milan and a prince of power.
Sir, are you not my father?
Was Duke of Milan, and his only heir and princess no worse issue.
Oh, the heavens! What foul play had we came here thence, or blessed waste we did?
Both, my girl. My foul play as thou say'st were we he thence, but blessedly hope hither.
Oh, my heart bleeds to think of pain that I have turned you to, which is from my remembrance please you, father.
My brother, and thy uncle called Antonio, I pray thee mark me that a brother should be so perfidious. He whom next thyself of old a world I love, put to manage my state, as at that time throwless signories. It was the first, and Prospero, the prime duke, being so reputed in dignity, and for the liberal arts without a parallel, those all being my study, the government I cast into my brother. Into my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped into secret studies. Thy false uncle, dost thou attend me?
Sir, most heedfully.
I pray thee mark me, I thus neglected worldly ends, all dedicated to closeness and bettering of thy mind. But by being so retired, or prized all popular rate, and my false brother awakened an evil nature, and my trust, like a good parent, did beget of him. But falsehood in its contrary, as great as my trust was, which, indeed, had no limit, a confidence stands bound. He being thus lorded not only with what my revenue yielded, but what my power might else exact, like one who, having truth in detailing it, made such a sinner to credit his own lie. He did believe he was the duke out of substitution, and executing the outward face of royalty, with all prerogative, hence his ambition growing. Dost thou hear?
Your tale, sir, would cure deafness.
Now the condition. The king of Naples, being an enemy to me, inveterate, hearkens my brother's suit, which was that he, in lieu off premises, and I know not how much should presently extirpate me and mine out of the dukedom, and confer fair Milan, with all the honors on my brother, whereon a treacherous army levied one midnight. Fate did a purpose that Antonio opened the gates, and if dead of darkness, the ministers for their purpose hurried thence, me and thy crying self.
Alack, for pity, I not remembering how I cried out then, and will cry again. It is a hint that rings mine eyes to it.
Hear a little further, and I'll bring thee to the present business, to which the story were most impertinent.
Wherefore did they not that hour destroy us?
My tale provokes that question. Dear they durst not, so dear to love the people bore me, nor set a mark so bloody on this business. But with colors fairer painted their foul ends. In few they hurried us aboard a bark, bore some leagues to sea, for they prepared a rotting carcass of a butt, not rigged, tackle, sail, nor mast. The very rats instinctively have quitted. There they hoist us to cry to the sea that roared back to us, to sigh to the winds whose pitying sighing back did us but loving wrong.
Alack, what trouble was I then to you?
Oh, a cherubin, thou wast that did preserve me. Thou didst smile infused with a fortitude from heaven.
How came we ashore?
A providence divine, a noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, who being then appointed master of the design, did give us rich linens, stuffs, necessaries, which since have steaded so much, so of his gentleness. Knowing that I love my books, he furnished me from mine own library with volumes I prize above my dukedom.
Would I might but ever see this man?
Now I arise. Sit still and hear the last of our sea sorrow. Here is the island which we have arrived, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more profit than tutors who have time for more vainer hours and princes not so careful.
Heavens thank you for, and now I pray you, sir.
By accident most strange, bountiful fortune. Now, my dear lady, half mine enemies brought to the shore, and I find my zenith doth depend a most auspicious star, whose influence, if I may court not, but omit, my fortunes will ever after droop. Here cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. I know thou canst not choose. Come away, servant, come. I am ready now. Approach, my Ariel.
All hail, great master, grace sir, hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds to thy strong bidding task, Ariel in all your quality.
Hast thou spirit performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article. I boarded the king's ship, now in the beak, now in the waist, the deck, in every cabin. I flamed amazement. Sometime I'll divide and burn in many places. On the topmast, the yards, and bowsprit would I flame distinctly, then meet and go. Jove's lightning, the precursors, oh, the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary in sight, outrunning or not. The firing claps of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege and make his bold ways tremble. Yea, his dead trident shake.
My brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant, that this coil would not infect their reasoning.
Not a soul, but felt the fever of mad and played some tricks of desperation. All but mariners plunged in the foaming briny quit the vessel, then all afire with me. The king's son Ferdinand was the first man that leapt, cried, Hell is empty, and all the devils are here.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed, but there's more work. What is the time of day?
Past the mid-season.
At least 2 glasses. The time twixt 6 and now must by us both be spent most preciously.
Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed me.
How now, moody? What didst thou canst demand?
My liberty.
Before the time be out, no more.
I prithee, remember I have done thee worthy service, done thee no mistaking, served thee without a grudge or grumbling. Thou didst promise to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
No.
Thou dost, and thinks it's much to tread the ooze and to salt deep, to do me business in the veins of the earth when it's baked in frost.
No, sir.
Thou least malignant thing, hast thou forgot that foul witch Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a who? Hast thou forgot her?
No, sir.
Thou hast. Where was she born? Speak, tell me.
Sir, in Algiers.
Oh, was she so? I must, once in a month, recount what thou hast been to me, which thou forgetst. This damned witch Sycorax from mischiefs manifolds and sorceries terrible to enter human hearing. From Algiers, thou best knowest was banished for one thing she did. They would not take her life, is not this true?
Aye, sir, and yes, her son Caliban.
Dull thing I say so, he that Caliban, who now I keep in service, thou best knowest from what a torment I did find thee in. Thy groans did make wolves howl, and penetrate the breast of every angry bears. It was a torment to lay upon the damned, which Sycorax could not again undo. It was mine art. When I arrived and heard thee, that maid gave him pine and let thee out.
I thank thee, master.
If thou more murmurest, I will rend an oak, and peg thee in its naughty entrails till thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Pardon, master, I'll be correspondent to command.
Do so, and after 2 days I will discharge thee.
That's my noble master. What shall I say? What shall I do?
Go, make thyself a nymph of sea, be subject to no sight but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go, take this shape, hither come and go. Hence, with diligence. Awake, dear heart, awake. Thou hast slept well, awake.
The strangeness of your story to put heaviness in me.
Shake it off, come on. Or is it Caliban, my slave, who never yields this kind of answer?
'Tis a villain, sir, I do not love to look on.
But as 'tis, we cannot miss him. He does fetch in our fire, and serves in offices that profit us. What ho, slave, Caliban, thou earth, thou speak.
There's wood enough within.
Come forth, I say, there's other business for thee. Come thou, tortoise, when? Fine apparition, my queen, Ariel, hearken thine ear.
My lord, it shall be done.
Thou poisonous slave, got by the wicked dam himself, come forth.
As wicked do as ever my mother breath, with raven's feather from unwholesome fen. Drop on you both, a southwest blow on ye, and blister you all over.
For this be sure tonight, thou shalt have cramps, side stitches that shall pen thy breath up, urging shall for the vast of the night, that they may work all exercise on thee. Thou shalt be pinched as thick as honeycomb, each pinch more stinging than the beast that made 'em.
I must eat my dinner. But this island's mine by Sycorax, my mother, which thou takes from me. When thou camest first, thou strokes me and made much of me. Wouldst give me water with berries in it, and teach me how to name the bigger light and how the lesser. Thou burn by day and night, and I love thee. and showed thee all the qualities of the elf, those fresh springs, brine pits, burying place and fertile. Cursed be I that did so. All the charms of Sycorax, the bats beetles light on you, for I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine own king, and here you style me, in this hard rock, while you do keep from me the rest of the isle.
Thou most lying slave, whose stripes may move, not kindness. I have used thee, filled as thou art, with humanity, and lodged thee in mine own self, till thou didst seek to violate the honor of mine own child.
Oh ho, ho, would have been done, that if thou didst prevent me, I'd people else this isle with Calibans.
Abhorred slave, which any print of goodness wilt not take, being capable of ill. I pity thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or another, when thou didst not savage, known thy own meaning, wouldst gabble like a thing most brutish. I endowed thy purposes with any words that made them known. Thy vile race, though thou didst learn, hadn't, which good natures could not abide to be with any, and with therefore waste thou deservedly under this rock. Thou hadst deservedly more than a prison.
No. You taught me language, and my profit on it is I know how to curse. The red plague rid you for learning your language.
Hag seed hence, factious and fuel and be quick. Thou art best to answer other business. Struggest thou malice, if thou neglects, or dost unwillingly what I command, I'll rack thee with all cramps, make thee roar, thy beak shall tremble at thy din.
No, crazy. The art is with such power. You would control my damn 5 seconds and make a big problem.
So, slave, hence.
Come unto these yellow sands and then take hands. Curtsy when you haven't kissed the wild waves with. But if this will very fair and sweet sprites fair. Hark, hark, the watchdogs bark. Hark, hark, I hear the strain of strutting chanticleer. Cry cock-a-doodle-dow, cock-a-doodle-dow.
Where should this music be? I air or the earth? It sounds no more, but surely it's waiting upon some god-oak island, sitting on a bank, weeping. Again, the king, my father's right. This same music crept by me upon the water, laying both their fury and my passion, tense I followed it. Or hath rather drawn me. But 'tis gone. No, it begins again.
Full fathom 5 thy father's lies. Of his pearls are coral made. Those are pearls that were his eyes, nothing of him that doth fade, but doth suffer a sea change into something rich and strange. Sea nymphs hourly ring his knell. Hark, I hear them now, ding dong bell.
The ditty does remember my drowned father's breath. This is no mortal business, nor no sound that the earth owes. I hear it above me now.
The fringed curtains of thine eye advance, and say what thou seest yond.
What is it, a spirit? Lord, how it looks about. Believe me, sir, 'tis a spirit.
No, wench, it eats and sleeps, and hath such senses as we have. This gallant which thou seest was in the wreck, but he's something stained with grief, that's beauty's canker. Thou mightest call him a goodly person. He hath lost his fellows, and strays about to find them.
I might call him a thing divine, for he is so noble.
It goes on, I see, as my soul prompts it. Spirit, fine spirit, I'll free thee within 2 days for this.
Most sure, goddess, of who these hairs attend. Which do I last pronounce, if you be maid or no?
No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid.
My language, heavens. I'm the best that speaks this speech. Where 'tis spoken.
How? The best? What word if the king of Naples heard thee?
Oh, if a virgin, a single thing, as I am. I am Naples. I saw with my own eyes my drowned father's wreck.
I lack for mercy.
Oh, if a virgin. Oh, all his lords. The Duke of Milan and his son being twain.
The Duke of Milan and his more braver daughter can control thee if now to fit to do it. At the first sight, we have changed eyes. Spirit, fine spirit, I'll free thee for this. A word, good sir. I feel you have done yourself some wrong. A word.
Father, why speak so urgently? This is the third man I have ever seen. The first I ever sighed for. Pity with my father be inclined my way.
Oh, if a virgin, I will, and your affection, if hath not, I will make you king and queen of Naples.
Soft sword, one word more. They are both in either's powers, but this swift business I must send easy. Make too light linen, make the prize light. A word, good sir. I charge thee that thou attend me. Dost thou here usurp the name thou owest not, and is come upon this island as a spy to win it from me, the Lord Honest?
No, I am a man.
Come on.
There is nothing ill that can dwell on this in such a noble temple. Can good things do will strive and ill with it.
Come on. Speak not for him. He's a traitor. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Sea water shalt thou drink. Thy food shall be the fresh brook mussels wherein the acorn cradle. Follow.
No, I will not seek such entertainment until my enemy has more power.
What I say, my foot, my tutor, who makes a show but dares not strike thy conscience, is so possessed with guilt. Come from thy word, for I can make thy weapon drop and disarm thee with this stick.
Beseech you, Father.
Hence, hang not on my garments.
Sir, have faith. I pity thee.
Silence. One word more shall make me child thee, if not hate thee. What an advocate for impostor. Hush. Thou thinks there is no such more shapes as he, having only seen him in Caliban. To the most of this men, this is a Caliban, and they to him are angels.
My affections are most humble. My affections are most humble.
Come on, thy nerves are in their infancy again, and have no vigor in them.
So it is a spirit. It is my spirit and my dream, all bound up. All bound up. No, all bound up. I subdued, and that is the light to me. Be my maid. Let liberty. Let liberty make you so. Enough space in my prison.
It works. Come on. Delicate Ariel, thou hast done well. Hark what thou shalt do.
Be of comfort, my father's more. My father's is more of nature than he appears by speech.
Thou shalt be free as mountain winds, but do exactly all points of my command.
To the syllable.
Come, speak not for him.
Seek you, sir, be merry. You have cause. So have we all of joy for our escape is much beyond our loss. Our Hindu woe is common. Every day some sailor's wife, the maskers of some merchant, and the merchant has us death. Before the miracle, I need no preservation. Beyond no one can speak from dust. The wise and pigs hurt wear sorrow with their comfort.
For thee, peace.
He receives comfort like cold porridge,
The visitor will not give him orso.
and he is winding up the watch of his will. By and by, he will strike.
Sir,
One tell?
whenever food is entertained that's offered comes to the entertainment.
$1.
Dollar comes to envy, yes, but truer than you purchase.
And you have taken it wildly, my lord.
Therefore, my lord,
Fee, what offensive is he of his tongue?
well, I have done but yet.
He will be doctor.
Which of ye or Adrian, for a good wager, first begins to crow?
The old cock.
A cockerel.
Done. The wager?
A laughter.
A match.
Though the silence seems to be desert,
Ha ha ha.
So you're paid.
uninhabitable, and almost inaccessible.
Yep.
Yet,
He could not miss it.
it must be of subtle, tender, and delicate temperance.
Temperance was a delicate one.
Hey, it is settled. We must learn to be delivered.
The air breathes upon us here most sweetly.
As if it had lungs, wrong ones.
Or as twere perfumed by a fen.
Here is everything advantageous to life.
True. Safe means to live.
Of that, there's none, no little.
How lush and lusty the grass looks, how green.
The ground indeed is tawny.
What the I've been in it?
He misses not much.
But the rarity of it is, which is indeed almost beyond credit.
That's really how sure these are.
Their garments, being as they were dreamt from the sea, fall notwithstanding their freshness and gloss, being rather neat and stained with salt water.
If but one of his pockets could speak, would it not say he lies?
Hey, and the falsely pocket up his report.
Methinks our garments are not as fresh as when we put them on for St. Africa, the marriage of the king's fair daughter, Clarabelle, to the king of Tunis.
Twas was a sweet marriage, and we shall prosper well on its turn.
Tunis has never been graced before with such perfection to their queen.
Not since widow did this time.
Widow, a pox for that. How came that widow win? Widow ditto.
And what if you said widow or Aeneas too? Well, how you take it.
But oh, ditto, said you make me study of that. She was of Carthage, not of Tunis.
This Tunis, sir, was Carthage.
Carthage.
I assure you, Carthage.
His word is more than the miraculous.
They have to raise walls and houses too.
What impossible matter will he make easy next?
And they will put this whole island into the pocket and trade to his son for a mere apple.
And sowing the kernels of in the sea, bring forth more islands.
Ah,
Why in good time?
sir, we were talking our garments seemed as fresh as when we were at Tunis at the marriage of your daughter, the king of Queen.
And the rarest that ever came there.
Is not, sir, my doublet as fresh as the first day I wore it? I mean, sir,
That sort was well fished for.
when I wore it at your daughter's marriage.
You ground these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would I never marry my daughter there for coming thence? My son is lost, and in my rate she too, who so far from Italy removed. Now shall I see her of Naples and of Milan.
Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the surgeons under him and ride upon their death. He trode the longing, whose enmity he breasted. The surge most swooned them at him. His bold head was the contemptuous waves he fed, and o'er himself with his good arms and lusty stroke. To the shore them at his wave-worn base of guide, as stooping to relieve him, and not doubt he came like to me.
No, he's gone.
Sir, you may think yourself as well. So you have not less are you up with your daughter, but yet lose her to an African. At least now she is banished for your eye, and you make us wet with your sorrow.
For thee, peace.
And you were yield and importunate otherwise. We lost her to this fair soul herself. Sir, we have lost your son.
So is the dearest off lost?
Is not, my lord Sebastian, the truth you speak doth lack some gentleness.
Wait, I beseech you.
It is foul weather in this all good sir when you are cloudy.
Foul weather?
Very foul.
Had I plantation of this isle, my lord?
You sowed it with nettles here.
Or ducks? Models.
and the king on it, what would I do?
Escape being drunk, for want of wine.
If commonwealth I would by contraries execute all things, for no kind of traffic would I admit. No occupation, all men idle, all, and women too, but innocent and pure, no sovereignty.
Yet he would be king on it?
The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning.
All things in common nature should produce without sweat or labor. I would have no kind of technology, but nature should bring forth of its own kind all poison, all abundance, to feed my innocent people.
No marrying among his subjects.
None, man. All idle, whores and knaves.
I would with perfection govern, sir, to excel the golden age.
Save his majesty.
Long live Gonzalo!
And you, Marquis?
To thee, thou dost talk nothing to me.
I do well believe your highness, and did to give an opportunity to these gentlemen who are such sensible and nimble lungs that they always used to laugh at nothing.
'Twas you we laughed at.
In this situation I have nothing to you, saying you continue to laugh at nothing still.
What a blow was there given.
I have fallen flat long.
You are a great fear. You would attempt to steal the moon if it did not change every month.
And then he would go about fouling.
Nay, good my lord, be not angry.
Will you laugh when you sleep, for I am very heavy.
Go sleep and hear us.
What? All soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would shut up my thoughts and find they're inclined to do so.
Sir, do not omit to this heavy offer of it. When it doth comes, it is a comforter.
We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest and watch your safety.
Thank you. Wondrous heavy.
Do you not? That is a sleepy language that I speak.
It is the quality of time.
I do not find myself falling to the sleep. My eyelids are not yet. I do not find myself disposed to sleep. My eyelids are still heavy.
No rhyme, my spirits nimble. They fell together all as by consent. They dropped as by a thunderstroke. What might, worthy Sebastian? Oh, what might? No more. And yet methinks I see it in thy face. What thou shouldst be. The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What? Art thou walking?
Do you not hear me speak?
I do, and it is sleepy language that doth me speak.
Noble Sebastian, thou lets thy fortune sleep. Die, rather winkest, while thou art waking.
Well, I am standing water.
I'll teach how to flow.
Will do so, to add. That it's thy hereditary sloth that instructs me.
Oh, well thus you mock it. How instructing it? You more invested. Every men indeed most often do so near the bottom run, by their own fear or sloth.
But for your own comfort?
Thus, sir, although this lord of brief remembrance, this shall be of his little memory, for he is the spirit of persuasion only, professes to persuade the king, his own sons alive. 'Tis as impossible that he is undrowned.
I have no hope that he's undrowned.
Oh, what of that hope? What great hope have you? Another way so high that even ambition cannot pierce the wing beyond. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
No, he's gone.
Then tell me, who is the next heir of Naples?
Clarabelle.
She lies queen of Tunis. She that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life. She that from Naples be rocked and raised rebel, goes and cast again.
What is thou saying? That is my brother's daughter. She is the next heir of Tunis.
A space whose every cubit seems to cry out. How shall that Clarabelle measure us back to Naples? Keep in Tunis and let Sebastian wait. There be that can rule Naples as amply and unnecessarily. Will you grant with me? I'm sorry. As this Gonzalo, I myself commit. Oh, that you bore the mind that I do, for your advancement. Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
And how did your contact tender your own good fortune?
Well, I shall go to Milan, and with one sword, one blow, I shall free these people from the tribute which thou payest.
Draw together, and when I rear my hand, do you the like to fall it on Gonzalo.
Oh, but one word.
My
master through his art foresees the danger that you his friends are in, and sends me forth, for else his project dies, to keep them living.
Awake, then let us both be settled. Now, good angels, preserve me.
Why? How now awake? Ho! Why are you drawn?
What's the matter?
Whilst whilst you guys were sleeping, we were securing your repose. It was a terrible sound, like lions, or rather bulls. Had it not wakened you, it would have struck mine ear most terribly.
Heard you this, Gonzalo?
Upon mine honor, sir, I heard a strange humming which awakened me. I shake you, sir, and cry. As mine eyes opened, I saw there was a strong, then there was a noise. 'Tis best we stand upon our guard, or that we destroy our weapons.
Lead off this ground and let's go search for my poor son. Lead away.
Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. So, king, go safely on to seek thy son. All the infections that the sun soaks up, from bones, fence, black, on Prosper fall, and make him by internal disease. The spirits here and needs must curse. But they'll nor pinch, fright me with their controls, pitch me in the mire, nor lead me like a firebrand out of my way, unless he bid me so. But for every trifle they're set upon me, sometimes like apes that chatter at me, and after bite me, then like hedgehogs that lie crumbling in my barefoot way. And then they mount their pricks at my footfall. Sometimes am I all wounded with adders, whose cloven tongues do stir me into madness. Lo, now, lo, here comes the spirit of his, and to torment me for bringing wood and clothing. I'll fall flat, perhence he will not mend me.
Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all. Another storm brewing. I hear it sing its wind. Yon same black cloud, yon huge one, looks like a foul bombard to shed is lifted. If it shall thunders it before, I know not where to hide my head. Yon same cloud cannot choose befall by pale fools. What have we here? A man or a fish, dead or alive? A fish, he smells like a fish, a very ancient and fish-like smell. I cannot not the news for John, a strange fish. Legs like a man and his fins like arms, warm on my trough. I do not let this my opinion. Hold it no longer. This is no fish but an islander that hath lately suffered by a thunderbird. Alas, the storm has come again. My best way is to creep under his gabardine. There is no other shelter hereabout. I will hear shouts to the dregs of the stormy cloud. I shall no more to sea, here shall I die ashore. This is a very scurvy tune to sing an advanced funeral, but here's my comfort. The master, the swabber, the boatswain, and I, the gunner and his mate, would cry to us, it would go hang, but she loved not the savor of tart or of pitch, yet a tailor might scratch her where she did itch. Then to sea, boys, and let her go hang. This is scurvy tune too, but here's my comfort.
Do not torment me!
Oh, what's the matter? Have we devils here? Do you put tricks upon the savages of London? Ha, I have not escaped out of the fear no of your brother.
The spirit torments me. Oh.
This is a monster of the owl with 4 legs, who hath got, as I take it, an ague. For the devil should he learn our language, I will give him some relief if it but before that. If I can recover him, keep him tame, and get to Naples with him, he's a present for any emperor who ever trod on its leather.
Do not torment me. For thee, I'll bring my wood home faster.
He's in his fit now, and does not talk after the wisest. He shall taste of my blood. If he has never drunk wine before, it will go near to remove the spirit. If I can recover him and keep him tame.
Thou dost me yet but little hurt. Thou wilt anon. I know it by thy trembling. Now prosper works upon thee.
Come on your ways, open your mouth. This is which will give language to you, cat. Open your mouth. This will shake your shaking. If all the wine in my bottle, I can tell you and that sound. You cannot tell who's your friend. Open your chops again.
I should know that voice. It should be, but he is drowned and these are devils. Oh, defend me.
This is 4 legs and 2 voices, a most delicate monster. His forward voice is to speak well of his friend. His backward voice is to utter foul speeches and to be trapped. If all the wine in my bottle can recover him, I will help his deeds. Come, amen. I will pour some in his other mouth.
Stefano.
Doth thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy. This is a devil and no monster. I will leave him. I have no long spoon.
Stefano, thou be Stefano, touch me and speak to me, for I am Tranquillo. Be not afeard, thy good friend Tranquillo.
If thou be Trinculo, come forth. I will pull thee by thy lesser legs. If any be Trinculo's legs, these are they. Thou art very Trinculo.
I took to be killed with a thunderstroke, but art thou not drowned, Stefano? I hope thou art not drowned. Is the storm overblown? I hid in the demon calf's gabardine for fear of the storm. And art thou living, Stefano? Oh, Stefano, two Neapolitans escape!
Do not turn me about. My stomach is not constant.
These be fine things, and if they be not sprites. That's a brave god who bears celestial acres. I'll kneel to him.
How didst thou escape? How camest thou hither? Swear by this bottle, how camest thou hither? I escaped upon a budded sack weaved overboard by a sailor. By this bottle, made from the bark of a tree with mine own hands since I was cast ashore.
I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, for the liquor is not earthly.
How didst thou escape?
Swim ashore, man, like a duck. I can swim like a duck, I'll be sworn.
I see thee in her, and I adore thee. My mistress showed me thee, and thy dog and thy bush.
Come, swear then. Kiss the book. I will furnish it anon with new content. Swear.
By this good light, this is a very shallow monster. I have feared of him, a very weak monster.
I'll show thee every fertile inch of the isle. I'll kiss thy foot. For thee, be my god.
By this good light, this is the most perfidious monster. When God's asleep, he'll rob his bottle.
I'll kiss thy foot. Be my god.
Come on, then down and swear.
I shall laugh myself to death at this most puppy-headed monster, most scurvy monster, if I can find my heart to beat him.
Come, kiss.
But the poor monster's in drink, an abominable monster.
I'll show thee the best springs. I'll pluck thee berries. I'll fish for thee. A plague upon the time that I serve.
A most ridiculous monster to make a wonder of a poor drunkard.
Wilt thou go with me?
Prithee, now lead the way without any more talking. Tranquillo, our king, and all else company being drunk, we will inherit you. Here, bear my bottle. Fellow Tranquillo will fill him by and by again.
Farewell, master. Farewell. Farewell.
A howling monster, a drunken monster.
No more dams I'll make for fish, nor at firing, nor at requiring. No more scraping trenches, nor wash dish. Ban, Caliban. Have a new master, get a new man. Freedom, high day, freedom.
Oh, brave monster, lead the way.
This, my mean tax, is as heavy as Otis, but the mistress which I am working for quickens death. But the precious, her father, though, is very, very mean.
Alas, now I pray you, work not so hard, and would the lightning had burnt up those logs that you are enjoined to pile. Pray, set it down and rest you. My father is hard at study. Pray now, rest yourself. He is safe for these 3 hours.
Almost, dear mistress, the sun will set before I discharge from what I must strive to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bury your logs awhile.
Oh, precious creature, you shall not do that, because then I'd rather crack my snoons and break my back before such dishonor on goes while I sit by lazy.
It would become me as well as it does you, and I should do it with much more ease. For my good will is to it, and yours it is against.
Poor worm, thou art infected. The visitation shows thee.
You look weary.
No, noble mistress. 'Tis fresh morning with me. When you are by at night, I do wonder what is your name.
Miranda, oh my father, broke thy I invoked your hest to say so.
O dearest world, for many lady have I eyed with best regard, but you, O you, so perfect and so peerless, are created from every creature's best.
I do not know more nor woman have remember, save from my own glass. Mine own, nor have I seen more that I know good call men than you, good friend. No, nor can I imagine for a shape besides yourself to let go.
Hear my soul speak. When I saw you, my heart flew. You were so perfect and peerless. Such a to make me slave to would be so. I am this patient logman.
Do you love me?
Yes, yes, I do.
I should weep to what I am glad of.
Your encounter of two rare questions. Heaven turns grace on that which breathes between us.
Wherefore weep you?
At mine own at mine praying me plan for fully innocence. Oh yeah, I am your wife if you will marry me. If not, I will be your maid. To be your fellow, you may deny me, but I am your servant. If whether you will or no.
My mistress. I thus humble and my dearest mistress, I most humble. Will you marry me?
My husband then?
Yes, I do love you. Here's my hand.
And mine with my heart into it. And now farewell till half hour then.
1,000.
So glad as they, I cannot weep, nor surprise with all, but my rejoicing at nothing can be more. While to my book, as yet ere supper time, must I perform much business appertaining.
When the bud is out, we would drink water, not a drop of it. Therefore, bear up in boredom. Servant monster, drink to me.
Servant monster, the folly of this island. The hid is the five upon the hour. We are three of them. The other two be burned like us, the state totters.
Drink, servant monster, when I bid you. Thy eyes are all set in thy head.
Where should they be set else? He were a brave monster indeed if they were set in his tail.
My man monster hath drowned his tongue in sack. For my part, the sea cannot drown me.
Your lieutenant, if you list, he's no standard.
Will not run, monsieur monster.
Nor go neither. You'll lie like dogs, and yes say nothing neither.
Mooncalf, speak close in thy life if thou beest a good mooncalf.
How does thy honor? Let me lick thy shoe. I'll not serve him. He is not valiant.
Thou liest, most ignorant monster. I'm in case to jostle a monster. Why, thou debauched fish, thou was there ever a man that hath drunk so much sack as I today? Wilt thou tell a monstrous lie, being half a fish and half a monster?
Lo, how he mocks me. Wilt thou let him, my lord?
Lord, quoth he, that a monster is such a natural.
Lo again. Bite him to death, I prithee.
Chinkulo, keep a good tongue in your head. The poor monster's my subject. He shall not suffer indignity.
I thank my noble lord. Will thou be pleased to hearken once again to the suit I
said he. Kneel, very will I. Kneel it and repeat it. I will stand, so touch and cool. As I told thee before, I'm subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer who by his cunning hath cheated me of the island.
Thou lies.
Thou liest, thou jesting monkey! Thou, I wish my master would destroy thee. Chinkulo,
If you trouble him. If you trouble him. If you trouble him.
Chinkulo, if you trouble him any longer in his tail, by this hand I will supplant some of your teeth.
Why? I said nothing.
Didst thou not say he lied?
Mum then.
Oh, mum then, and proceed. I say by sorcery he got this isle. If thy greatness will allow, thou dare not. Oh, that's most certain.
Thou shalt be
Thou shalt
lord of it.
be lord of it, and I'll serve thee.
How now?
How now should this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the pardon? Yeah, my lord. I'll yield him be asleep, and thou may beat a nail into his head.
Thou lies, thou canst not.
What a pie guinea. What a pie guinea.
What a pied name is this? I do beseech thy greatness.
Give him blows. Give him blows.
Give him blows, and take his bottle from him. When that's gone, he shall drink naught but brine, and then I won't show him where the freshness are.
Kula.
Trinculo,
Run into. Run into.
Trinculo, run into no further danger. Interrupt the monster one word further, and by this hand I'll turn my mercy out of the door and make a stockfish out of thee.
Why? What did I? I did nothing. I'll go farther off.
Didst thou not say you lied?
Thou liest.
Do I so take that, as you like, this give you the lie another time?
I did not give the lie. Out of your wits and hearing too. A pox your bottle. This can sack and drinking do. Murrain on your monster, and the devil take your fingers.
Ha ha ha! Forward with your tail. Now, stand further off. Beat him enough. After a while, I'll beat him too. Stand further off. Come, proceed.
Why is it folded?
In the afternoon he sleeps, where thou may beat his brains out. And the most important to consider is his beautiful daughter.
He's so brave, alas.
Oh, is this so brave a lass? Aye, lord. I will kill this man. His daughter and I shall be king and queen. Save our graces. Trinculo, thyself shall be viceroy. Dost thou like the plot, Trinculo?
Excellent.
In the afternoon he sleeps, where thou may beat him. On my honor. I'm very merry. Let us be jocund. Will you teach me the song? Sing the song.
At thy request.
Oh, at thy request. Any request, Monster Trinculo, let us sing.
Loud 'em and cout 'em and scout 'em and flout 'em.
Thought is free. That's not the tune. What is this saying?
This is the tune of our catch. Play about the picture of nobody.
Thou beest. If thou beest.
If thou beest
Amen.
a man, speak but
Show thyself.
show thyself in thy likeness. If thou beest the devil, show thyself thy list.
Oh, forgive me my sins.
Those
He
who
that dies.
he that dies pays all debts. Mercy on us. In the night I heard the sounds, which I cried to dream of again.
This will prove.
Oh, this will prove a brave kingdom to me when Prospero is destroyed. We'll read this by and by. I remember the story.
The sound is going away. Let us follow it and after do our work.
Lead then. We'll follow.
Well, come, I'll follow Stefano.
Fire locking, I can go no further, sir. My oath once aches. Here's a maze trod deed through forthrights and meanders. By your patience I needs must rest me.
O Lord, I cannot blame thee, whom myself attached with weariness. Even here I'll put off my hope. Sit down and rest. Who thus stray to find while our frustrate search on land? Well, let him go.
I'm right glad he saw out of hope. Do not from one repulse forego the purpose that you resolve the effect.
The next advantage we'll take thoroughly.
Let it be tonight, for now they are pressed to travail. They will not, nor cannot use such vigilance as when they are fresh.
I say tonight, no more.
What harmony is this? My good friends, hark.
Marvelous sweet music.
Look at that. Would you like a drink?
Give us, kind keepers, heavens. What were these?
A living jolly. I shall believe that they're unicorns in Arabia.
I'll believe both. And what does else want credit? Come to me, and I'll be sworn 'tis true. Travelers near did lie, though fools at home condemn me.
If in Naples I should report this now, would they believe me? If I should say I saw such islanders, for certes these are people of the island, who though they are monstrous shape, yet know their manners are more gentle kind than ever human generation should find many, nay, almost any.
Honest Lord, thou hast said well. For some of you their presents are worse than devils.
I cannot too much muse. Such shapes, such gesture, such sound expressing, although they want to use the tongue, and of it an excellent dumb discourse.
Praise and departing.
They vanish strangely.
No matter since, they have left their vines behind. For you have stomachs. Will you please take some of this food that we have here?
Not I.
Faith, sir, you need not fear. When we were boys, who would believe that their mountaineers do that like bulls, whose throats had hanging at them wallets of flesh, or that there were such men whose heads stood in their breasts, which now we find. Each putter outer of 5 for 1 will bring us good warrant of.
Stand to and do as we... and feed it. Although my last, and since I feel the best is past, brother, my lord the duke, stand to and do as we.
You are 3 men of sin, whom the never surfeited sea hath caused to belch you upon this island, where man doth not inhabit. I have made you mad, and have caused men to hang and drown their proper selves. You fools! I and my fellows are ministers of fate, of whom your swords are tempered. But remember that you 3 did supplant good Prospero, which hath acquitted him and his innocent child, for which foul deed the powers have incensed the seas and shores. With thee of thy son, Alonso, they have bereft and do pronounce by me. Lingering perdition shall step by step attend you in your ways, for here else falls upon your heads is nothing but heart sorrow and a clear life ensuing.
Bravely the figure whose heartbeat has thou performed my aid. They are now in my power, and in these fits I leave them, while I visit young Ferdinand, whom they supposed is drowned, and his and mine love darling.
Bang!
Name of something holy, sir. Why stand you in this strange stare?
Oh, it is monstrous, monstrous. Methought the bell spoke and told me of it, the wind and of the thunder. My son is is better. I'll seek her than it their plummet sounded, and with him there lie muttered.
Only but one fiend at a time. I shall fight the legions over it.
I'll be thy second.
All 3 of them are desperate, their great guilt like poison given to work a great time after, now gins to fight the spirits. I do beseech you that I have supper joints, follow them swiftly and hinder them from what this ecstasy may now provoke them to.
Follow, I pray you. If I have too harshly punished you, your compensation makes amends for I have given you a third of my own life, or that for which I live. Once again I tender to thy hand all thy vexation, for but my trials of thy love, and thou hast strangely stood the test.
I do believe against an oracle.
But if thou dost break perversion not before all sanctimony discernible, may with full and holy right be ministered, no sweet aspersion shall the heaven let fall to make this contract grow. But barren hate, sour disdain, and discord shall eschew the union of your bed with weeds so loathly that you shall hate it both.
The murkiest den, the most opportune place, the strongest suggestion. Our worser genius shall never melt my honor into lust. To ruin the great day's celebration? To think of phobious deeds of founder?
Fairly spoke. Sit then. Talk to me. She is I know. What Ariel? My illustrious servant Ariel. Come.
What would my potent master? Here I am.
Thou and thy meaner fellows your last service did worthily perform. I must use you in such another trick. Go bring the rabble, or whom I give you power here to this place. Incite them to quick motion, for I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some vanity of mine art. It's my promise. Expect it from me.
Presently.
Oh, 8 with 20.
Before you can say come and go, breathe twice and cry so. Each one tripping on his toe, do you love me, master, no?
Dearly, my delegate, but do not approach till thou dost hear me call.
Well, I can see.
The strongest oath, wait. Look, that be true. Do not give the lions the lions too much to reign. The strongest oath are straws, the fire, the blood.
I warrant you, sir, the white cold virgin snow upon my heart abates an ardor of my love.
Well,
now come, my Ariel. Bring a colliery, rather than want a spear. Appear impertly. No tongue, all eyes, be silent.
Sirius was found to sleep. Thy rich leaves and weak library nests oats and peas. Thy turfy mountains where live nibbling sheep, and flat meat servant feet. Where thou thyself dost bear, the queen of the sky, whose watery arch and messenger am I. Bid thee leave these, and with your soaring grace, here on this grass plant in this very place. Come and sport for pigars for our main, approach it Sirius, her to entertain.
Hail, many-colored messenger, who with thy saffron wings upon my flowers diffuse such refreshing showers. And with each end of thy blue bough dost crown my bosky acres in unshrubed down. Why hath thy queen summoned me?
A contract of true love to celebrate with some donation freely to a state on the blessed lovers.
Tell me, heavenly thou, if Venus or her son now tend the queen. Since they did plot the means the dusky disk my daughter guard her and her blind boy scandal's company I have forsworn.
Of her society be not afraid, and let her die, cutting the clouds with posts, and his son dove John with it.
Great June approaches, I know her by her gait.
How does my bounteous sister go with me to bless this time, that they may be prosperous and honored in their issue? Honor, riches, marriage blessing, long continuance, and increasingly hourly joy be still upon you. Juno sings her blessing on you.
Earths increase in foys and plenty, barns and garners never empty. Vines with clustering bunches growing, plants with goodly burden built. Spring comes to at the farthest, in the very end of harvest. Scarcity and want shall shun you, Sirius' blessing is so on you.
May I be bold to thank these spirits?
Spirits, which by my art I have from their confines called to enact my present fancies.
Let me live here ever, so rare father and wife makes this place paradise.
Oh, sweet now silence, hush and be mute. Sweet now silence. Oh, something else to do. Hush and be mute, or else our spell is marred.
Nymphs, answer your summons Juno does command. Come to her nymphs and help to celebrate a contract of true love, be not too late.
I forgot about the foul conspiracy of the beast Caliban and his confederates against my life. Their minute is almost come.
well done.
Well done. Avoid no more.
Something moves your father into passion.
Never took a stare, I saw him touch fingers so dissolved.
You look, my son, as if in a mood sort as if you were his maid. Be cheerful, sir. Our rebels are now ended. These spirits, these actors, as I told you, are all spirits, all melted into thin air, and as like the baseless fabric of this vision. The cloud have tower, the solemn temple, the gorgeous palace, the solemn temple, the great globe itself, all inherit, which will dissolve, like pageant,
Faded?
like an insubstantial pageant faded. Leave not a wreck behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on. And our lives are rounded with a sleep.
We wish you peace.
Come with a thought. I thank thee, Ariel. Come.
Thy thoughts I cleave to. What's thy pleasure?
We must prepare to meet with the beast caliber.
I, my commander, when I presented Sirius, I thought to have told thee of it, but I feared lest I may anger thee.
Say, where did thou leave these varlets?
I told you, sir, they are red hot with drinking, yet always bending towards their project. Then I beat my tabor, at which they pricked their ears and lifted their noses, for they smelt music. So I charmed their ears. They followed through 2 sparrows which entered their frail shins. And at last I left them. I, the filthy mantle, pull beyond yourself.
This was?
Oh, this was well done, my bird. Thou shape retained invisible.
I go.
A devil, a born devil, on whose nature and nurture can never stick, on whom my pain,
Humanely?
Humanly taken. All lost, quite lost. And as with age, his body grows uglier, his mind cankers, I will plague them.
All.
I'll plague them all.
Even. To roaring.
Come, hang them on this line.
Pray you, tread softly. The blind one may not hear a footfall. May not hear a sound.
Monster, you're fairy, which you say is a harmless fairy, has a little better than play the jack with us.
Monster, I too smell a horseman, at which my nose is in great nature.
So is mine. Do you hear, monster? If I should take a displeasure against you, look.
Thou wert but a lost monster.
Good, my lord. Give me thy favor still.
I but to lose our bottles in the pool.
There's not only disgrace and dishonor in that monster, but an infinite loss.
That's more to me than my wedding, yet this is your harmless fairy, monster.
Okay, fetch off my bottles, will I be over yours for my labor?
Prithee, my king, be quiet. Cease thou here. This is the mouth of the sun. Do that good mischief which you make this island thine own forever, and I, Calvin, thy footlicker.
Give me thy hand, I give it to you.
O King Stephano, O peer, O worthy Stephano, look at what a wardrobe here is.
Leave it alone, thou fool. It is but trash.
Oh, ho, monster, we know what belongs to you, forever. O King Stephano,
Put off that gown, Jacobo. By this hand, I'll have that gown.
thy grace shall have it.
Drown this fool. What do you mean to dote us on such luggage? Let alone and do the murder first.
Be you quiet, monster. Mistress Line is not my drink. Now is the jerkin under the line? You are like to lose your hand for a ball of drink.
You do, we steal by line and level, ain't like your drink.
Thank thee for that gift. Here's a garment for it. With Tranoko underboard while I am king of this country, steal by line and levels with excellent hospitality. Here's another garment for me.
Come, put some lime on your fingers and away with the back.
I'll have none on it. We shall lose our time and be turned to barnacles and eat, with foreheads villainous low.
Go to bear this way, to remember my hogshead of wine is or I'll turn you out of my streets. Go, to carry this.
And this.
I, and this.
Hey, Mountain, hey!
Silver, there it goes, silver.
Hark, there, time right there. Oh, man. Oh, go charge my goblins with their age, with dry convulsions, and shorten up their sinews with age cramp, and Hinch spotted.
Me.
Spotted.
Hark, they roar.
Let them. Let them be hunted.
Oh, let them be hunted soundly. Our time, wait.
Lies at my mercy.
Their time lies at my mercy. Follow and do me service. Now as my project gathers to a head, my charms crack not, my spirits obey. And as time goes upright with his carriage, how's the day?
On the 6th hour, at which time, my lord, you said our work should be.
I did say so. When I first raised the tempest, say my spirit, how fares the king and his followers?
Confined together, just as you left them, all prisoners, sir. In the line over which weather finds their cell, they cannot budge for your release. Your charms have shown work some that, if you now beheld them, your affections would become tender.
Does thou think so, spirits?
Mine would, sir, were I human.
Mine shall. Go release them, Ariel. My charms shall break, their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves.
I'll fetch them, sir.
Ye elves of hills, brooks, standing lakes, and grooves, and yet that's on sand with printless foot. Do chase the ebbing Neptune, and do fly when he comes back. By my supponent art for this rough magic I here abjure. And when I've acquired some heavenly music, which even now I do, to make my ends meet upon their senses, I'll break my staff, buried in certain fathoms of this earth, and buried in certain fathoms of this earth, and deeper than it ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book. Not one of them that did looks on me would even know me. Ariel, fetch me that had to rapier myself. I'll disgrace me and myself present, as I was sometime Milan. Quickly, spirit. Thou shalt ere long be free.
Where the beast sucks, there suck I. In the council bell I lie. There I couch when the owl do cry. On the bat's back I do fly. After summer merrily, merrily, merrily shall I live now. Under the blossom which hangs on the bough.
Why, that's my dainty Ariel. I shall miss thee, but yet thou shalt be free. So. Oh, to the king's ship. There thou shalt find the mariners asleep. Under the hatches, the master and the boatswain. The master and the boatswain. Being awake, incite them to this place. Presently, I bid thee.
I drink the air before me and return or air your pulse twice speed.
All torment, trouble, wonder, and amazement we have here. Some heavenly power guides us in spiritual country.
Oh, behold, Sir King, the long Duke of Milan Prospero. For more assurance that you're talking to a living prince, I embrace thy body. To thee and thy company, I bid a her thee pardon.
Where thou beest you or no? Or some enchanted trifle to abuse me? As light as I have been, I not know. Thy pulse beats of flesh and blood since I saw thee. The affliction mine immense. And if this be all, a most strange story, thy duped in my do resign and do entreat. Thou pardon me, my wrongs.
First, noble friend, let me embrace your age, thine age, whose honor could not be confined or measured.
What did the spirit do not on my prayer?
Welcome, my friends all.
The devil speaks again.
No, for you, most wicked sir, whom to call brother would even infect my mouth, I do forgive.
If thou beest prosperous, give us thy particular of thy preservation, whom 3 hours since we were wrecked upon the shore, where I've lost my dear son.
I have her sovereign aid. I shall rest myself content.
And parables loss, and patience is your task cure.
For I have lost my daughter.
A daughter? Oh heavens, what were they? living in Naples, the king and queen there. I wish myself was in that oozy bed where my son lies. When did you lose your daughter?
In the last tempest.
Sweet Lord, you pray the cross.
No, my dearest love, I would never.
I guess for a score opinions, you should regular and I will call it your way.
If this is a vision of the island, shall I lose my one son twice?
The most high here.
Through the seas threatened.
They are merciful.
They are merciful.
They are cursed.
I have cursed them without cause.
Now all the blessings.
Now the blessings of a glad father compass thee about. Hast thou arise and say how thou camest here.
Tis needed.
Oh wonder.
Oh, wonder how many godly creatures are there here? How many mankind is a brave new world that has people in it?
Tis needed, thee.
What is this maid? Your Elden's acquaintance. Cannot be within 3 hours. Is she the goddess that served us and brought us together?
Yes. She is mine. I chose her when I could not choose my own father, to ask him for his advice. She is the daughter to the famous Duke of Milan. The one I've heard renowned of, but never actually saw before my eyes. The one that gave me a second life and a second father. She is the one that I chose her.
I'm hers, but oh, how oddly shall I ask my child for forgiveness?
There, sir, stop. Let us not burden our remembrance with the heaviness that's gone.
I have only wept, or should have go through this. Look down, gods, and on this couple drops left crown, for it is you that have gone that the way of God.
I say I'm going to give it up.
Was Milan first from Milan that his issue should become kings of Naples? Oh, rejoice beyond the common joy and set down its blood on lasting pillars. In one voyage did Claribel her husband find at Tunis, and Ferdinand her brother found a wife, where he himself was lost. Prospero his dukedom in a poor isle, and all was ourselves when no man was his own.
Give me your hands. Let grief and sorrow that doth not wish you good.
Be it so, amen. Oh, look, sir, here's more of us. I prophesied if the gallows were on land, this fellow cannot drown. Now, blasphemy that swears grace overboard, not an oath on shore, hast thou no mouth by man? What is the news?
The best news is that we have safely found our king and captain. The next, our ship, which but through God's assistance we not split, is tight and near and greatly needed as when we first put out to sea.
Sir, all this service have I done since I won.
Why, that's my dainty Ariel. I shall miss thee. Wait. My tricksy spirit.
These are not natural events. They came from strange to stranger. Say, how came you thither?
If I did think, sir, I were well awake, I'd strive to tell you. We were dead of sleep, and how we know not, all fast under hatches, were strangely sounding noises of roaring, shrieking, howling, jingling chains, and more diversity of sounds. All were awake. We were awake straightaway at liberty, where we, and all our kin, freshly beheld our royal good and gallant ship, our master captain to eye her on a trust. So please you, even in a dream, where we divided from them and brought nothing hither.
What's done well?
My dainty Ariel, I shall miss thee, but thou shalt have freedom.
This is strange maze as Earman trode, and a difference of an oracle. We must rectify our knowledge.
Sir, my liege, do not infest your mind with reading on the strangeness of this business. Come, bring Caliban and his confederates. Untie the spell.
Every man care for all the rest, and let no man care for himself. For all is but fortune. Courageous, bully monster, courageous.
If these be true spies in which I wear my head, here's a goodly sight.
O Sepulchre, how brave these spirits be. I'll find my master. I'm afraid he will chastise me.
What are these things, Antonio?
Very like. One of them is a plain fish, and none that market.
These three are God and this demi-double, for he's a bastard one.
I shall be pinched. Oh.
That's against my life. These two, you should know and own. For this thing of darkness, I acknowledge. Mine.
I shall be pinched to death.
Is this not Stefano, my drunken puppet?
You've drunk now. Go ahead, you guys.
And Chanculo is reeling right. Say, how thou can't get that out, that wine have given. How came you in this pickle?
I've been in such a pickle since I saw you last, and I fear you on the ground of my boat. I shall not appear till I float.
Well, how now, Stefano?
Oh, touch me not, I'm not supporter, but it's clear.
Oh, you'd be king of the Isle Syrah?
This is a strange thing I ever looked on.
He is as disproportionate as in his manners as in his shape. You go Sriracha myself. With you bring your companions. As you look for my party, trim them handsomely.
I that I will, and all.
Go away.
Handsome, bestow your luggage where you found it.
Our stumble about it.
Sir, I invite your highness to myself to rest for this one night, and in the morning I'll bring you to your boat and so to Naples, where I love to see our beloved solemnized.
I long to hear the story of life, and here to take the ear most strangely.
I'll deliver all. I'll promise you calm seas and a sit and expeditious, auspicious gales and expeditions. I shall catch your royal fleet far off. My chickary and turf. That is I charge. Be free. Please jog, king. Please follow me.
Now my charms are all overthrown, and what strength I have mine own, which is most faint now it is true. I must be here confined by you, or sent to Naples, let me not, since I have my dukedom, God, and pardon the deceiver dwell in this bare island by your spell, but release me from my bands with the help of your good hands.
Gentle breath of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces so that it holds mercy itself, and frees all faults, as you from crimes would pardon be. Let your indulgence set me free.